Legendary family, it's your favorite Donabot here, and when it comes down to legendary Pokemon, I normally do look for lore and stuff. Matter of fact, most of the Pokemon today, well, I wouldn't say today, most of the Pokemon back then have a lot of lore and even connections with other powerful legendary Pokemon. For example, the legendary dogs and the legendary birds all connect together from Ho-Oh. Then you have Lugia, who connects to them, and then you even have the where they gets to the point where if legendary Pokemon get out of control, Rayquaza shows up to make sure they know they place. You even have the Aura Trio being connected to the Light Trio because of Ultra Beast and because they crossed over. Like, come on now. And then you also have alternate Pokemon scaling where they fight, regular Pokemon to other legendary Pokemon. So imagine my excitement when Pokemon Journeys announced that they would be having Eternatus, Zamanetta, and I think it was Amita. So imagine just having the excitement of having these couple Pokemon. But again, Journeys was an absolute trash of a series. It was absolute garbage compared to other Pokemon series. I would even say the Unova League was actually way better than this one, and its accuracy was one of the worst times for Pokemon, or at least one of the worst series for Pokemon. But imagine having not only the legendary birds in this region, you had the legendary dogs, you even had Darkrai and Cresselia who were actually fighting each other. Again, these are basically Pokemon that are concepts and nightmares. You even had glimpses of Dialga, Palkia, and many other legendary Pokemon, whether they were mythical as well. You guys get my point, right? You had a lot of legendary Pokemon in this series, but none of them, right? None of them were fighting Eternatus. And you might say, oh, well, legendary Pokemon don't need to fight all the time. No, they don't, but it's a good for scaling. See, what's important here is scaling with legendary Pokemon. Yes, you can put them above basic Pokemon pretty easily, but again, if you really want to get my synopsis on scaling, basic Pokemon, yeah, some of them can have universal feats here, but again, this comes from scaling to legendary Pokemon. They're the scaling points. They're the epiphany. All right, not the epiphany. I mean, they're the top of the top. So Eternatus himself, just has this ridiculous scaling, and here's why, right? So Alon's Charizard, his Mega Charizard X was able to beat 10 Mega Evolutions in a row. Great. Now, we do know Mega Evolutions can scale to each other because of the Volcanion fight. And some of these Mega Evolutions were giving Charizard a hard time. Now, you also have Steven's Mega Metagross, which, in all honesty, should have beat Ash's Pikachu. I'm just really saying it should have won that. And you do have them scaling to each other, where they both fought Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre. All right. Then you get to the Masters 8 tournament that just really was just horrible in general. And Leon's Charizard was not only able to go toe-to-toe with Mega Charizard X, but one-shot him. Keep in mind, Leon's Charizard Gigantamax for the following Pokemon. A Gigantamax for Pikachu. A Gigantamax for Lance's Gyarados and Raihan's Duraludon. Alright, so a Gigantamax for those three Pokemon. But for some reason, Alon's Charizard never got that treatment, which is, again, definitely anime error. We should not have gotten Gigantamax Rillaboom. We really just shouldn't have had it unless it was going to be Leon's last Pokemon. Like, I'm just being honest here. And yeah, sure, Rillaboom was overpowered. But again, we should have had Gigantamax Charizard instead of Gigantamax Rillaboom. Now, here's where this messes up the scaling. So you mean to tell me Leon's base Charizard, which isn't stronger than his Gigantamax form, one-shotted Alon's Mega Charizard X, who was able to fight Primal Groudon, Zygarde at 50%, and defeated 10 Mega Evolutions that would scale relative to other legendary Pokemon. Is that that is that what I'm seeing? We all seeing that, right? We all get that, right? So this means that shouldn't Gigantamax Charizard be above Eternatus, or should it be relative to Eternatus? Doesn't that mean Leon's Gigantamax Charizard should be able to take attacks from Eternatus? Oh wait, no, we never got to see that in the anime for some reason, because when that special came out, Zemanetta and Zamita, or both the Zams, basically just stole the show, which I definitely agree they should have. But the thing is, this is Leon's first showing against a legendary Pokemon, and he does horribly. Alon's Charizard did 10 times better against multiple legendaries, as a matter of fact, including other megas, which would scale to other mythical legendary Pokemon. And you mean to tell me he got one-shotted by a base Charizard that had no Mega Evolution? Now, sure, you could say it's the strongest world champions Pokemon. Okay. But again, why is his base able to one-shot a Mega Evolution that has feats containing of multiple universal to multiversal level feats? Zekrom has better scaling than this, and it's very simple, because he can scale to Kyurem, who is the strongest dragon type in the world, and as can Reshiram. Reshiram can scale to that as well. But with Eternatus, you have to go, well, he scales above Leon's base Charizard, who scales above a Mega Charizard X, or Alon's Mega Charizard X, who was able to fight against Zygarde at 50%. Zygarde 50% is greater than base form Necromaza, who can absorb the light of an entire universe, or an entire dimension that has pretty much dimensionality above ours, or their little concepts of balance and light, making them high outer, right? You guys get what I mean? It doesn't help the scaling, because the chain is absolutely ridiculous. You even have Zamita and Zemanetta, who don't even have that many feats. It would have been great for Leon to actually have, experience fighting against legendary Pokemon. As a matter of fact, like I said earlier, there's a bunch of legendary Pokemon in the Galar region. What about that? I would have loved to have a series about him the same way we did Alon. At least build him up properly, so that way Eternatus looks like an actual threat, because he can't handle it, despite the fact his Charizard has pretty much had the same prior experiences, just like Ash's. Ash's Charizard was able to fight against Articuno and Entei. Like, really? Even Mewtwo for a good time period. And yet, Leon's Charizard does not have that base level experience. He doesn't. We don't even know. We know he had it since his childhood, but we don't know if he fought the legendary 3 birds. We don't know if he fought Mewtwo, who was also in that region. And matter of fact, I think, dang, ain't that the second time Charizard fought Mewtwo? Like, ain't this the second time? But anyway, but it doesn't have the same experience as Ash's Sceptile, which was able to beat Darkrai. Huh? What? Ash's Sceptile went toe-to-toe with Darkrai, and, if I remember correctly, Deoxys as well. So Leon's Charizard does not even have the same experience as Ash's Sceptile. Now, how does this go back to Eternatus? Eternatus absolutely mauled that same Charizard. Now, this doesn't even make Eternatus look good, because it doesn't, again, Leon's Charizard does not have the same experience. And Journeys could have actually done it, but they were so lazy. It has to be the laziest portrayal of anything I've ever seen. It has to be the laziest portrayal of Pokemon I have ever seen in my entirety. But that's going to be off today, you guys. That's my problem with Eternatus scaling as a whole. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope you all have a blessed day. And let me know what you guys think about Eternatus's scaling. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.